This is Cornelius McBadtime, and he has one goal within this zombie-infested paradise. He just wants to find and operate a vehicle for his first time, be it for at least 45 seconds before his demise. Now this might not sound like the hardest task, but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
As his name entails, Mr. McBadtime is gonna have, well, a bad time. Not only will he have to start life in West Point, argued to be the hardest vanilla start, but also, well, Cornelius isn't really good at much. Anything really. In fact, he doesn't just lack any positive attributes, but he only holds a plethora of negative traits and skills. So, will Mr. McBadtime end up living out his dream and taming the automobile, or will he just continue down a spiral of disappointments? So, starting up that first life, I have to say that the "this is how you died" statement at the beginning, well, with the events I knew that would be coming up, that has never felt like it was going to be more true. But Cornelius wakes up, literally instant panic. Our boy's claustrophobic, so houses might be an automatic no-go. We did a quick scan through the house, nothing for us here, and Cornelius was off because, there's not going to be a car in a house. Now this is when I remembered. I am bad at Project Zomboid. See, I ran endlessly, not knowing where to go, but knowing what I was looking for. Cornelius searched in driveways, next to bodies in the street, but he was out of luck. He ran through streets, forests, houses, and schools, all the way through hordes of zombies, all up until Cornelius was just exhausted, unable to run anymore, and the zombies caught up. Although he was able to escape for the first time and shuffle a little bit further, he ended up meeting the Grim Reaper for the first time of many. This wasn't the end though. Mr. McBadtime never found that car, and he would wake up as many times as it took. The next few lives that McBadtime lived out were quite similar, running from what felt like hundreds, meeting his demise in just a few hours almost every time. On Cornelius's fifth life, things started to look up. He found an unlocked car and just had to find the keys, as with his unemployed list of skills, hot wiring was not an option. Sadly, in the search of keys, he ran out of energy, got snagged, and bled out in the unlocked car, still dreaming. His next life was looking up too. He was taking out zombies left and right. He started with army gear and books. It was a good start, but McBadtime made his way through the woods, finding a previous spawn, and as the sun began to set, he posted up in a nearby house, scrunched down on some food, quenched his thirst, and attempted to get some sleep. Well, this is where Cornelius actually ran into a dilemma that he hadn't ran into yet.
We have sort of a problem here.
See, he was getting tired after running all day, and the boy wanted some sleep. But he suffers claustrophobia, meaning he had strong panic in houses, and Cornelius can't sleep while panicked. It was about to be a long night. He sat on the floor for hours, growing more and more sleepy, and then the sun rose, and he was back out to find that car. Though, after walking around for a few hours, the lack of sleep finally caught up with Mr. McBadtime here, and so did the undead. Now, really quick before getting to the next couple of deaths, just if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more, why not hit that like and throw a sub the channel's way? But yeah, I'll admit you're probably thinking, why is this idiot just spawning in, running outside, and dying? He must suck. Well, Cornelius McBadtime isn't here to build a base, cook, kill, loot, or even live healthily. He could go find weapons, he could think things out more strategically, but no, he doesn't have time for that. He just wants to stay alive and find a freaking car, which was seeming to be a way harder task to accomplish without weapon skills or hot wiring. That is why the next few lives were quite fruitless and, well, a bad time. Either running all day, getting cut on fences and bleeding out, or searching glove boxes for keys, all for naught, as death always found Sir Cornelius before he could find a working car. That is until McBadtime's 11th life, when something changed. So as some of you Project Zomboid players out there may know, keys can spawn in the glove boxes of many cars, though it may be a little uncommon. Well, Cornelius here was finding many unlocked cars, but no keys in the glove box, until he finally found that first key, 11 lives in. And then the bad times continued. As some of you probably know well, most of the cars you can find end up already siphoned of gas and empty. So like a cruel joke set on Cornelius by the PZ gods, he continued finding keys to fuel-less cars. And his dream is to drive a car, not get teased by one. But even though that life ended, he now knew it may be smart to try and find some gas on the way, as this may be getting tedious and becoming a repetitive loop of deaths, but as long as Cornelius was vehicle free, he would continue to wake up and search endlessly. Weirdly and luckily enough though, after finding that first key, it became extremely common finding keys in glove boxes, so he felt a little more confident that if he could at least find some gas, Mr. McBadtime's dreams would eventually come true. The 12th and the 13th lives were pretty similar, Cornelius finding many keys but no gas. But at that 14th life, luck was playing its games and acting like it was on our side one more time.
I got you $1.
McBadtime spawned in the same location as the past couple lives. This time he beelined it northwest and out of the city, somewhere he had not tried to go yet, searching trunks and sheds for gas cans on the way, only to find one empty gas can, ironically. Eventually though, he found himself in the forest, surprisingly not a zombie in sight, and the sun was setting. Cornelius was tired, thirsty, hungry, and just about to keel over, right when luck hit again. He found a lake that may have been dirty, but 'twas drank. Then, next to that, McBadtime found a very nice little neighborhood, being able to grab another drink of clean water this time. He even was able to grab some food and a flashlight. Though it was still late, dark, and our boy was tired, he is as he is, and it was too closed in for him to sleep inside. And he was not tired enough to sleep outside yet, so it was back out. Luckily with a flashlight this time around. But on his journey, as the sun began to rise, Cornelius just could not take it anymore, and he took a quick nap on the ground, waking up at the brim of another sunset. But now with some light, before it got dark once more, it was back on the vehicular hunt. He ran into a wreck with an ambulance, took out some stragglers, found a key, turned it in the ignition, and no gas. He kept on the road finding another ambulance wreck, identical to the last. He took out those stragglers, and actually found a key on one of the undead this time around, so Cornelius hopped in the red sedan, plopped the key into the ignition, and of course, there was gas. He cranked that key a couple times, and it roared to life. McBadtime was finally behind the wheel of a functioning vehicle. It never felt so good. He was jittering with excitement, whipping through the streets. Now, he may not know how to drive, but he enjoyed every bit of that 2 minutes before the wheel straight up popped off. Cornelius was unfazed, and he drove a little further, actually finding a broken down car, wheels sitting right in the road, fresh for the pickings. Though stopping for it may have been a mistake, as a few zomboids emerged from the forest and got a bite out of poor Cornelius. He wanted to just grab a wheel and go, sadly taking that hit on the way back to the car, along with missing out on the whole reason he got out in the first place. And as expected, he lost blood fast, driving away from the scene, knowing these were his final moments. The cars rolled to a stop, and after 28 hours, McBadtime died, living out his dream, and I would assume he drifted off with a smile on his face. But yeah, that was the journey of Cornelius McBadtime, along with what felt like an endless number of deaths. It really took 3.5 straight hours, along with 14 lives reborn, just to find a car, a key, and some gas. Though the journey was a blast, and at least I did end up finding the car at the end. I started to think it would never happen, but yeah, we got the car, we got the gas. It was awesome. I was so excited. I was screaming when I finally got it. But yeah, this was a really fun challenge for myself and a really fun video to make. And I want to know all of your thoughts on this little challenge or task or whatever you want to call it. Along with that, I want to know your thoughts on Project Zomboid or just this different kind of video in general in the comments now. And if you did enjoy the video and you want to see more like it, go ahead and slap that like and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on everything to come. And speaking of everything to come, if you want your name at the end of future videos and those future videos a couple hours early and just want to support the channel, check out a membership to the channel now by pressing that little button below. Lastly, if you enjoyed any music that you heard and you want to hear more, head over to BillyTheWhip on any music platform now to hear all of my home-cooked jams. And now that we're here, I will say it 1,000,000 times over, thank you all so much for getting us to 1,000 subs. It's crazy, and I hope you all have the best day you can have.
Billy the boogeyman coming for you. Look out for the pigs, look out for me too. Been chewing them up, spitting the new, spitting the bones, pushing the noose, squeezing the game. Been making that juice, no need for the pulp. I'm spitting that too, ripping through anyone, dripping through hoops. It's emergency, man, sending the troops. I'm on the offensive, so don't get the